All right, guys, we are back for part two. Let's continue where we left off.
You have not answered my question, which is what emotion did you feel having watched that body cam footage?
I'm interviewing you, so I would like you to ask that question. Is that incitement or not? It's simple.
Okay, well, I will tell you, having watched that footage myself, I was furious about it. I think millions of people...
Oh dear, having a bit of internet difficulties here, guys. Let me come out of it. Oh, Cameron, don't do this to me. Come on. Right, we'll get back to it.
In this country of all sorts of races and religions, based on the people who are speaking to me and sending me messages constantly, they were absolutely furious about it as well, because it was a crystal clear example of two-tier policing. And how on earth the police, upon attending the scene, took more seriously an accusation of racism than an accusation of having been stabbed. Paul Henry said repeatedly to the police that I've been stabbed. And the police said, and this is burnt into my memory now, it's so horrifying, the police responded with, I quote, "I don't think you have, mate." So the burden of proof was on Henry to prove that he had been stabbed, and yet there was no burden of proof on the murderer who had accused Henry of racism. And if that doesn't make you angry,
if I could just ask a question, because otherwise we're not. This is supposed to be a conversation. I'm not saying that I'm not angry. My heart is broken for the family, of course, and it is enraging. I understand that, but I'm asking about the fact that politicians are stoking this anger has consequences, doesn't it? You know, there is a police officer who is in hiding because of death threats. He was mistaken as someone who was involved in this, and he wasn't, and he's now in hiding. You know, do you condemn calls for some kind of vigilante justice against the police officers involved here? Do you condemn that?
Sorry, who's calling for vigilante justice against officers? There
are death threats online circulating. There's misinformation circulating online. Do you condemn that? Do you sympathise with the police officers in hiding?
Of course I would condemn that, and I take exception to this notion that connecting that with anything that Nigel said. But are you saying, Kathy, that it is...
Bear with me, guys. For some reason, my internet is I can't even say it's playing up. Come on now. Bear with me. Bear with me. We'll get back there. We'll get there, guys. We will get there. Come on.
Inappropriate to take anger that people feel as a result of this tragedy for political purposes. Is that what you're putting to me?
I'm listening to what the family has said, and they said they don't want this terrible tragedy to be used to stoke division. And that is what we have. We have this huge political row now. We have Nigel Farage making claims that white lives matter, which is a slogan that was used by, the UK's largest white supremacist group. Are you happy with him using that phrase?
Kathy, what Nigel Farage said today was that white lives matter as much as black lives. Do you disagree with that statement?
You seem to be conducting an interview with me, but I'm trying to ask you the question.
I'm asking you whether you disagree with the statement
because you're the politician.
I'm correcting, with respect, Kathy, I'm correcting you on this, because to leave out the second half of the sentence, I think is deliberately misrepresentative and misleading. So Nigel said that white lives matter as much as black lives. And my question to you is, do you disagree with that statement?
And my question to you is about Nigel Farage's claims of anti-white prejudice. I mean, there is overwhelming evidence, isn't there, of police racism over the decades against black minority ethnic people. You've got to go back to the Scarman report, the Macpherson report, the Casey review. There are decades of racism by the police against black minority ethnic people. Do you accept that that is a fact?
I'm kind of stunned that you couldn't bring yourself to say that you agree with the statement that white lives matter as much as black lives.
Right, that's enough. That's enough. Guys, that's it. That's enough. That's enough. Right, I'll tell you what.
I can't understand why you can't just confirm you agree with.
Right. No comment. See, this guy here.
That statement.
Zia, you're the senior member of a party. You're a politician. My job is to hold you to account, so I'm asking you these questions. And I would love you to answer that question about racism against black and minority ethnic people by the police. There are a lot of people who are angry because they see every day, the stop and search data. They see that. They see the deaths of black people in police custody. And they're saying, where is your anger about that?
Well, again, I don't understand why you can't bring yourself to confirm that you agree with the statement that white lives matter as much as...
No comment. There we go. There we go. Right now, guys. Now we can come out of this and we can go back to it. Now we can start. Let's see. Now we can get into it. Now we can get into it. So guys, let's slow it down. As like I said to you, even when I did the George Floyd video then, I had they're friends of mine. I had Caucasian white people that are friends of mine. They're still friends of mine now. And they would say, in regards to George Floyd dying and the movement of Black Lives Matter, they would say, you know, all lives matter. And like she just told you there, in regards to Nigel Farage and a lot of other white people at the time, when they were saying, no, white lives matter, they were saying it in a way where it was more white supremacists. It was more like, how can I explain it to you? We can't allow black people to stick up for themselves. Therefore, we have to say white lives matter. We can't allow them to have some sort of power, to have some sort of backbone. We can't allow them to stand up and kind of, rebel against the system. So the only way we can confront that is to basically, to a certain degree, whitewash it. And we whitewash it by saying white lives matter, all lives matter. By doing that, here's Black Lives Matter here. We say white lives matter too. Then we say all lives matter, and that goes on top of it. Before you know it, there was no Black Lives Matter. There is no black agenda. There is no Trayvon Martin. Let me list some of the people that were killed. Because when you got white people talking about Caucasian people talking about all lives matter, let's delve into it. Let's delve into this, guys. Let's delve into it properly. Okay? Because even then, I mean, a lot of these people that said this, right, were genuine, good Caucasian people, good English people that said it. Oh yeah, but look, to be honest with you, though, you know, all lives matter, though, really, isn't it? It's all lives matter. And even now, I'm trying to figure, like, are they being serious? Is this like, were they being serious? And I think they were kind of stating the obvious. It goes without saying that all lives matter, guys. Come on now, we're not dumb, are we? We're not stupid. It goes without saying that injustice is injustice. That goes without saying. What you have to ask yourself is, what was the purpose of Black Lives Matter? What was the purpose of it? If you're a white person watching this now, ask yourself a question. What was the purpose of Black Lives Matter? Okay? The purpose of Black Lives Matter was the fact that George Floyd died at the hands of racist cops that are still racist today. They're still racist in America. That hasn't changed. Trayvon Martin, I think he got shot. I think Trayvon Martin was young as well. I'm sure he was the young boy that was shot, 14. I think he was 14 years old. Michael Brown, Eric Garner. I think that Eric Garner is one that said, I can't breathe. Please, I can't breathe. Please, I cannot breathe. Please, please take these handcuffs off me, or please rest up a little. I can't breathe. Please, sir. I think I'm going to die. Something like that. It's a distressing video to watch at the hands of racist cops. Racist cops that still have power today. Nothing has changed. Now, when we go back to today's Henry Nowak, the first thing we got to be honest about is that the cops acted appallingly. So let's go through what happened, because it's important as well. Because what did Nigel Farage say? What did he say? Oh, that career. What did he say? And this again, this is what bothers me a bit. Rather than him talk about George Floyd being manhandled and killed at the hands of crooked racist cops, people want to somehow bring up his past. But if you're gonna bring up George Floyd's past, then we got to then look into Henry Nowak's past. And I don't want to do that. It's not tit for tat versus this or that. The fact of the matter is, whether he was a career criminal or not, the way that he was dealt with, yeah, the police abused their powers abuse their powers as police. The police knocked on my door now and said get on the floor. I'm gonna get on the floor. If some random jobber knocked on my door right now, said get on the floor, I'm gonna say who? What? I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna spark him clean out. So when we see authority, we submit to authority. It's up to that authority to then make sure that we're taken care of. In Henry Nowak's case, it was neglect. In George Floyd's case, that was neglect. They killed the man. They didn't neglect the man, they killed him. Okay? But what happened with Henry Nowak? Right, so, because this is clear, because remember, he's talking about career criminal. George Floyd, career criminal. He had to throw that in there for some apparent reason. So, what we're going to do is, we're not going to, spit on the man. We're not going to spit on Henry Nowak's grave. We're not. But we've got to be honest, we've got to be real, because we're being real about George Floyd here. The fact of the matter is, Henry Nowak was walking home. They said he had a little bit of alcohol to drink. He was walking home on the street. He somehow come into contact with Vikram Digwa. He came into contact with Vikram Digwa. For whatever reason, yeah, and they're talking about George Floyd, career criminal. For whatever reason, Henry Nowak turned around and said to this guy, got out his phone, and he said to the guy, right, you think you're a bad man, yeah? With his phone filming him. He said, yeah, you think you're a bad man. Yeah? The guy then apparently grabbed the phone from Henry Nowak. Now, we don't know what went on between Vikram Digwa, what words were exchanged. We don't know what words were exchanged from Henry Nowak. We don't know whether Henry Nowak was maybe, slightly prejudiced towards him because of the turban the guy was wearing or whatever. We don't know. We don't know that. Yeah, we don't know that. If we're going to talk about George Floyd, career criminal, we don't know that. Yeah, if we're going to focus on things that shouldn't even be focusing on, yeah, then at the end of the day, we don't know how it started or why it started. We don't know whether Henry Nowak did say something to him about maybe his race or culture or religion. We don't know that. Yeah. What we do know is this: the guy's grabbed the phone from his hand. Henry Nowak's gone to get the phone back. The guy now, Vikram Digwa, has 2 knives on him. One of the knives apparently is legal under Sikh law, Sikh religious law. He's able to carry this Sikh knife that is able to inflict damage, potentially kill a person. It's not some little, any knife can kill, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's a lethal object that can kill. The first one, the one that they're able to carry based upon their religion. The second knife now has nothing to do with no religion. That's a blatant knife that you use to cause harm, fatal harm, that can potentially kill someone. So he's got this small Sikh knife that he can carry by law, which we'll get into in a minute. And then he has this kind of extended knife that is obviously used to cause grievous bodily harm. Okay? This guy pulls out the knife. He stabs Henry Nowak. I don't know how many times he stabs him. It could be, let's see if I can figure out how many times he's stabbed. It could be maybe 4 to 5 times, I'm guessing. I don't want to articulate. I can ask ChatGPT if need be. ChatGPT, in the case of Henry Nowak, the 18-year-old Polish guy, how many times was he stabbed exactly?
Henry Nowak was stabbed 5 times with a fatal wound to the chest. This was part of the incident in December 2025 in Southampton, where he was attacked by Vikram Digwa. The court later convicted Digwa of murder.
Thank you. So he was stabbed 5 times. He then apparently crawls over to some fence and jumps over this kind of fence whilst he's being stabbed to get away from his attacker. Right, guys, we're going to get into part 3 in a moment. Thank you, stay with me. and we're gonna battle this, all right? And we've got a lot to talk about, by the way. We've also got to talk about racism that's still going on in America today with a young boy named Key Summit. We'll get into that in a moment, all right? See you around for part 3.